Such a pristine figure. Oh my god. You can move her feet too? This is the best figure I've ever seen in my life. I need this. I need this right now. Yes?
Print Phantom Seer.
What?
I said print Phantom Seer.
Why am I gonna listen to you?
Because I'll jar that figure and give it to your mom and say it's yours.
Okay, calm down. Calm down. I got what you need, okay? We can get you Phantom Seer. That's all you want, right? You don't want these pristine feet pics?
No, I don't. Just Phantom Seer. Those feet pics, we'll save them for later.
Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. I'll release Phantom Seer. I got it. Okay, just leave me alone, please. Please, please, please.
Okay, good. I'll leave it to you then.
God, thank you, thank you. Is he gone? Okay, it's coming out digitally. Okay, good. We got it. Right in the bag. Right in the bag. We got it, boys. We got it. Yo, what's up guys, it's me Jake here, and as you can tell from the skit intro and also the title, today we're going to be talking about yesterday's VIZ announcements, maybe even 2 days ago's VIZ announcements, depends on when I can edit this, but I think this has been a really good VIZ announcement, and also a very bad one at the same time, so I just want to give you my thoughts about this VIZ announcement, what I'm excited for, and say what I'm not really excited for at the same time. I'll probably go fast through the things I'm not really too excited for, mostly the digital stuff, other than one, as you might be able to tell just from that skit alone, but let's get straight into this with the first VIZ announcement, which was the Demon Slayer light novels. Now, if you don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of Demon Slayer, but this gives me hope for other big shonen series getting their light novels out. First, One Piece got Ace's Story, now Demon Slayer, and another one that's going to be coming in later down the line, but I'm very excited to see how this goes. Hopefully they sell well enough to actually get other series like Black Clover to get their light novels released, because in my eyes, that's the big shonen that's next that I want to see their light novels adapted, purely because I've yet to read the one about Zeph, and that is legitimately canon, that is in between chapters of the manga. It literally says on one of the end chapters, go read this novel to see a little bit of the character development of these characters and where they come from, and they even adapted it in the anime, but of course they didn't adapt it into the manga because that was the novel's purpose. So I hope they do that with Black Clover novels in the future. I'm not really too excited for the Demon Slayer novels, but it gives me a little bit of hope for other big shonens like My Hero Academia and Black Clover getting their novels adapted. Next up are three things I'm not really too excited about, which would be the tips and tricks for the weekly Shonen Jump thing, the Romantic Killer. It's full color though, I think that one was really cool. The full color, that's very different for VIZ. And also Rainbow Days, I'm not really too excited about. Yes, it's a rom-com, but I don't feel like it's going to be my kind of rom-com, so those are three I'm not too excited about. But the next one I am pretty excited about, know nothing about it, and that's going to be Town of Sand. Never heard of it beforehand, but this looks interesting. The art style is very, very different than things I've read, and I like things that have very different art styles, and I think I'll very much enjoy this one, even if it doesn't have that great of a story, purely because I think this art style is very different and very unique, and it's something I'm very excited to read and see my opinions on when it comes out. But for the next 5 or 4, I'm going to be having a pretty big segment on. The next one is going to be Drip Drip. This is the big one that I wanted to talk about. One of the big ones I want to talk about. It is a one-shot by the creator, Beastar's Paru Itagaki, and it's the first time she drew a human, I believe, inside of one of her published manga. And of course, I know she's making a new serialization currently right now called Sanda, but getting Drip Drip gets me excited because if you don't know from my recent videos, I've been loving Beastars. Beastars has just been phenomenal of a read. I've been loving it. So seeing Paru Itagaki's other works getting printed gives me a lot of hope that Sanda, when it finishes, or even very soon in the next couple announcements, will also get physicals, which is something I've been wanting to read because it looks very interesting and I see it on a bunch of things on Twitter all the time, so I just cannot wait to actually get it, and hopefully VIZ actually release this, as I'm getting a lot of hope from Drip Drip getting an announcement and coming out, and I think this is fall of 2022. I also heard about this on the Anime Man's monthly otaku collection. I don't even know which one it was, but he did talk about Drip Drip, so I'm very excited because he said it was pretty decent, and Anime Man... his tastes are 50-50 with me, so I can't say anything, but this one I'm very excited for because it's part Itagaki. Continuing on with the VIZ announcements, we also got a huge, and when I say huge, I mean ginormous announcement. Dandadan. I didn't think that this was going to get announced today. I thought this was going to get announced in the next announcement, but I can see why it got announced today because they did the same thing with Sakamoto Days. And another one that's coming up literally, I think, in like 2 or 3 announcements from my sheet right here that I have all of them on. But Dandadan, I've read the first 3 chapters of and was engrossed by that art. That art is some of the best weekly art I've seen. And I'm comparing that to like Kohiora Koshi. Like Kohiora Koshi, I think is some of the peak of weekly Shonen Jump art. And of course, I think Black Clover is also pretty much up there. But I think that Kohiora Koshi is way more consistent with than Yuki Tabata. So that's just my opinion on that. But Dandadan is up there for me. This series has so much amazing art that I've seen that is like chapter 30, and it just looks gorgeous. And I don't get how he just made all these chapters and still has a chapter that looks that phenomenal. I don't know. He is crazy, and this is something I'm super, super excited for, as I did read the first like half of the first volume. And like I said, I loved it. So it's very interesting. Cannot wait to see how this goes in terms of the story, and I cannot wait for this to finally get released. Also, I just hope that these spines are better than the Japanese ones, because I really don't like the Dandadan Japanese spines. So hopefully we get better ones, but I wouldn't be too mad as long as the series is good. I don't really care about the spines. But the next one, as a weekly Shonen Jump fan, and if any of you other guys are also weekly Shonen Jump fans, you're going to be so excited for this announcement, as we've been pushing this series to Viz for legitimately the last 2 or 3 announcements now. Mission Yozakura Family. Now, I've only read around the first volume and a half of this series because I was waiting, hoping it would get physicals. Well, baby, did we make it. We finally got those Mission Yozakura physicals. Yes, they're coming out in fall, so around 14 volumes will be out by then in Japan, but I cannot wait for this series to come out. If you don't know, it's an action rom-com kind of sci-fi series, and it's a very good one at that. From what I've read, I very much enjoyed every single chapter. Every chapter was really fun, entertaining, and there was a great bit of really good comedy in there as well that can really make, I think, all kinds of people laugh. And I think Mission Yozakura Family is one of those underrated things and very underrated gems that is in Weekly Shonen Jump that not enough people give a chance, but the people who do give it a chance absolutely adore it and they love it, because it's just one of those kinds of series. It's really hard to hate. There's not that many big, huge plot holes and big holes in the story. It's just a lot of fun, and I think that's something I've been really waiting to get English physicals for, and finally we made it, boys. We finally got those Mission Yozakura physicals. Next up is another one I'm very much enjoying, and I very much cannot wait for physicals of, and that's going to be Blue Box. Oh my god, if you guys don't remember, I think I was hyping up Blue Box a while ago when the first chapter came out, and I said this might be something really good rom-com coming out of Jump, something that we've needed for years. Is a really good rom-com in Jump, and we finally got a really good rom-com with sports elements within Blue Box. It was such a phenomenal read so far. Cannot wait. I'm going to drop the series now and wait for physicals. That's usually what I do when things get physical releases, like I did that with Sakamoto Days as well. Gonna do that with Dandadan. I'm not even gonna read it online, just gonna read physically. And my god, I think every twist, all the things, the love triangles, all the different dramatic moments inside the series really hit. And I think that yes, it's a love triangle and people might not like that. It's a very wholesome one at that, and gives each character time to blossom and develop, and I loved how they did it so far. So I cannot wait to finally pick up these volumes. As if you don't know, I do have the first volume in Japanese, and I loved it that much to get that. But I'll be honest, that was my phase where I was getting a bunch of Japanese manga. I even have volume 1 of Candy Flurry in Japanese, so I mean, I can't say everything I love in my Japanese collection, but Blue Box is one of the ones I definitely adore, and I cannot wait for those English physicals. Next up, I'm mad, and I'm very mad, because if you don't know, if you had just skipped past my skit in the beginning, it's Hunter's Guild Red Hood, a canceled series that they decided to give English physicals of over Phantom Seer. If you don't know, Phantom Seer is something I loved, and I don't know why they canceled in the first place. I read it, I loved it, I think it's a solid 8. The ending, of course, was rushed, but that's because, of course, they canceled it. And I think that it could have been one of those massive Shonen Jump hits. Yes, people were bored and tired of Exorcism now because they've gone through 40 million other Exorcist series, but Phantom Seer was one of those ones that was before all these people getting tired of it at that point. Exorcist series that was doing it different. It was doing it so greatly, and I think the art really helped it. But now we got Hunter's Guild Red Hood. I cannot wait to see on that English physical print Wolfonium, because I will pick it up. I didn't hate it. I actually did enjoy what I read, which I read around the first volume or so of chapters, so I will probably pick it up because I do want to support the manga, and hopefully those spines look nice. But Phantom Seer, I'm sorry, you definitely deserve these physicals over Red Hood in my opinion. You did better sales-wise by a large margin. Like, you sold 100k volumes for one of your volumes, I believe. I think it was volume 3, I think, sold 100k. Red Hood didn't even sell 100k with all of its volumes combined. So, like, I don't know, the Jump, I don't know what you were doing there, but that really made me mad when I saw that was getting physicals, and then the digital thing came up. That was just so annoying. Next up is the Promised Neverland short stories. To be honest, I forgot this didn't get announced yet, because I think we were in the art book of Promised Neverland, and I thought that was the short story collection, so I got really confused, and when I saw it, I'm like, don't we already have this announced? But I was wrong. Of course I was wrong, but I'm excited for it. I, of course, haven't benched through my Promised Neverland yet, like I said I would, but I'm very much excited for this. I loved what I read. I read up to volume, I think, 14 or 15 around there, so I'm very excited. The short stories are probably going to be great because the manga's great. I hear the ending's pretty hit or miss, but either way, I really like the manga, so I'm probably going to like the short stories as well. So I'm excited for that. And next up is the Junji Mito, the Black Paradox, I think? Yeah, Black Paradox, that's what it says. But if you don't know, I hate Junji Ito works, so this is definitely not going in my collection. The only reason I have any Junji Ito works is Dissolving Classroom is one of the coolest looking volumes, and I have the Gyo singles because I got them for a really good price. But then I didn't know they were from a smoker's house, and they smelled exactly like cigarettes for a whole year and a half. Yeah, that definitely did not help my experience reading that, but I'm just going to say, Junji Ito is just not my style. It's amazing art. Storytelling just isn't for me. And I do like my horror anime and horror manga. It just, Junji Ito's style isn't my thing. It's just not my forte. So I'm just not going to pick it up. And next up is the Rohan Kishibe spinoff. I'm definitely going to pick this up. I'm a huge Jojo fan. I even have most of the Jojo singles. If you know anyone that's selling volume 3 and 13 of the part 3 singles, hit me up because I very much need those to finish my set. But Rohan Kishibe is one of my favorite characters from part 4. My second favorite part of Jojo's ever, and I've only watched / read up to part 5, so I can't say anything about part 6, 7, 8. But, of course, if you don't know, my first favorite part is part 5. I love part 5, but part 4 is easily close my second favorite part, and Kishibe is one of the reasons. Rohan is such an amazing character, and I cannot wait for the spin-off to come out, and yeah, Rocky just does not miss. He's just phenomenal. And then next up, the two things I want to talk about is going to be my last two physical things I want to talk about. Look Back, Chainsaw Man's creator's one-shot, which I'm really excited to get, because that means we might get his other one-shots that he's made between Chainsaw Man's part 1 and part 2, which are like the 17 through 21 or whatever. Those one-shot volumes with a bunch of short stories. I hope we do, because I'm really excited to see what else he can write, because Tatsuki Fujimoto is definitely a weird writer, and I cannot wait to see any more of his works. So hopefully this means that we might be getting those. But Look Back is just one volume, and it is also something that did sell really well in Japan comparative to his short story collections. Didn't sell nearly as well, so maybe we won't, maybe we will. We'll see in the next announcements, but really excited to have Look Back. I cannot wait to add this to my collection. It was a really good work. Very, very amazing art for Tatsuki Fujimoto. I think this had some of the best Tatsuki Fujimoto art I've seen in a while. Of course, Chainsaw Man had great art near the end, but overall, Look Back was just a phenomenal looking volume, and it was a really, really great read. So if you haven't already, when this comes out, definitely check out Look Back. And I've already talked about novels. This guy from like the 2 announcements ago that I did the stream with East with, that's just one of the JJK novels. You're finally here. They're finally here. Your JJK novels. They just gave up the money. They're just like, okay, this guy was annoying us. Here you go. Well, we got the JJK novels now. Where's the Black Clover novels? That's all I'm saying. This is the last announcement for physicals, and I don't know where the Black Clover novels are. Viz, you hooked that one guy up. Hook me up too. Come on, like. Let us get the Black Clover novels, please. Please. Now we're on to the digital releases. This one sounded really interesting, so I was hoping we would actually get physicals. That's the comic. It's made by the Yu-Gi-Oh creator, and it sounded really interesting. Manga artist solving a murder mystery, which sounded really interesting to me. Sadly, we are not getting physicals of this. We're just getting digital release, just like the other three, which I'm not going to really even talk about. The other three are Phantom Seer, which I already talked about, Build King.
Peak fiction. Like, I don't know why this is digital, man. Like, Build King's so good, right?
And I Tell C, another peak fiction work, one of the best works Jump has ever released in its time. But, yeah, I'm just going to say, I don't know how Witch Watch and Phantom Seer got in digital hell, and all these series are with it. Like, come on. Like, the comic actually sounds really interesting, so I'm really mad that the comic and Phantom Seer are digital only. So hopefully Viz don't pull a Kodansha and just keep it digital hell, and hopefully they, in the end, they do bring it physically, because we all saw what happened with Tokyo Revengers, and now Blue Lock, and all those things that were in digital hell for so long. Blue Lock is finally getting physicals for Kodansha, and then Tokyo Revengers got bought out by Goat Seas, so Goat Seas is going to release that, just like Kimono Jihen. Viz fumbled the bag, and now Goat Seas is also going to be printing that. So now 7 Seas is probably my favorite publishing company of all time. So thank you, 7 Seas, for being the best publishing company. Sorry, Viz, for just not doing what I want. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this VIZ announcement. It was really good and really bad at the same time, in my opinion. I think it did a lot of things right, but also a lot of things I didn't like at the same time. So all I'd say, I already think I talked about all my takes on everything pretty well. So that's all I say. Hope I see you guys next time, and peace!